Yeah,
I'm sure it's different food. I
yeah,
guess you already knew English for the kind but like just the different things you had to go through.
yeah. It was definitely interesting. But one, it was one of the things I thought was really cool was the yellow school bus. Right. So okay, listen, I'm in Ghana, right? And one of the things I always thought was hella cool was you guys have like the school bus, right? Like I used to watch the Magic School Bus, which I loved. I love that show. Um, but I remember the first day, I was going to school and they were like, "This is where it's going to take you to school." And I saw the what's called the Magic School Bus. So the yellow school bus, I was like, "Oh wow, this is actually happening." Because you only see it like movies and shows and stuff, and now I got to go in, so I thought it was cool. In terms of culture shock, one thing, and I think a lot of maybe Africans might resonate with this, right, is like the idea that I didn't know that I was black until I came to America, right? And the reason I say that is that when you're growing up on the continent, right, when you're growing up in Africa, one, everybody looks like you. So you don't really think about your skin color being something that's like, important or anything like that. But when you come here, when you come to America, where there's a lot of different peoples, right, and what they call a lot of different races, yeah, people like to categorize and try to fit you in. It's like, okay, you're black. This is what you do. This is what your people do, and it's like, okay, that's kind of weird. I didn't know that my people specifically did a thing, but here we are, I guess. So yeah, you kind of learn the unspoken kind of rules, right, of America, which is that there are different races, and different races are known for different things, right? This is what black people do. This is what white people do. This is what Asian people do. This is what Hispanic people do. And it was like, that's weird. That was a weird thing to me because it's like, what makes it so special to these people that these people don't only do this or are known for this? I could do what I could do all of that. Why can't I do all of that? So it was this concept of race is outside of America, not a lot of people actually think about or see skin color in the same way. But I think that's to say too about the unique experience, though. I've learned the history of this country, right, when it comes to race and skin color and everything like that. So,
So, do you think being coming over here from another country has given you an advantage versus like regular Americans? Like, do you think immigrants are more motivated to be succeed? Like, they take advantage of opportunities where most Americans like, yeah,
well, it's interesting, right? Because I've had this conversation too with folks, specific black folks too, and it's like at one point, I used to think that, right? I used to think like, yeah, like being an immigrant and kind of coming here, yeah, there is in a sense uh, a different kind of drive, right? Because outside of this, they call America the land of opportunity, right? And when you come here, you're like, oh, okay, so you're telling me like I can actually do something. Like in Ghana, for example, if you wanted to start a business, it's kind of, I would say 90% luck that it will succeed, right? Like one, there isn't really any, sure, there's like a official administrative process you can go through, right? But one, you don't actually have to go through that. You can just set up a little, canopy somewhere and start selling something. But the odds of that succeeding, right? You even like one getting capital for, the thing you're trying to sell, all these other things and whatnot is difficult, right? So again, it's like a luck of the draw. Whereas when you come here, there are not only, a system for starting a business, but there are things like grants. There are, places you can go market yourself, right? It's very much organized and structured here. So if you want to do something, there is like almost like a set path. Okay, you want to open up like, a hospital? All right, boom. Here are the laws that we have for, for to be a hospital. Here are the paperwork you need to do. So there's already like a way there's a system there. Whereas in Ghana, there isn't so much a organized system. So yeah, I think a lot of immigrants, when they come here, they see that. They're like, okay, this is what I wanted to do, but I couldn't do it in my home country. But when I come over here, I see that there's a system. I'm gonna do it. But then they look at maybe other folks and like, how come you guys don't take advantage of this opportunity and system that you have here, right? Like, if you want to do something, you can do it. But as I've talked with, specifically other black folks and whatnot, come to learn about, well, historically, it's not as black and white, right? Especially when it comes to black folks. Because there have been times when black folks have built something, but then it got pretty much destroyed or bombed or, burned down by other folks in this country, right? So a lot of black folks still kind of carry that trauma in some ways. but then also the awareness that, yeah, there is a history that a lot of immigrants don't know about because it's not like black folks and other folks haven't tried to do the thing that we're saying, right? It's just that we weren't here for it. We don't have the same history as, they do here. And yeah, it's not as simple as folks are just being lazy or something like that.
From your point of view, is there like tension between a black person that comes from Africa
Mm.
versus a black person who's born in America?
Yeah, I think the one, again, there's like the history, right, of being born here in this country and the history that comes with that, and then also being, say, African and being on the continent. Because one of the things that black folks here say is that they wish they knew, their lineage or like where they came from, right? Being African, yeah, I know where I come from, right? Like I have my family, like, oh yeah, we were from here and then we moved here and then we moved here.